everybody. Welcome to game number 3 in the 1982 Strat-O-Matic World Series. The scene is now shifted to what it says Kauffman Stadium, but back in '82 it was known as Royal Stadium. And the Royals going to see if they can enjoy the home cooking as much as they did the north of the border cooking, as the Royals lead it 2-0. And as Elvis Presley once sang, it may be now or never for the Montreal Expos. Let's look at the starting pitcher matchup for both teams. For the home-standing Royals, they will go with yet another left-hander, Larry Gura, 18-12, 4.03 ERA. For the Expos, they will counter with right-hander Bill Gullickson, 12-14 with a 3.57 ERA. An interesting little side bit is that the Expos have no lefties in their starting rotation, whereas the Royals only have one righty. They got all lefties except for one righty, so kind of a contrast there. Let's look at the starting lineups for both teams, and Jim Fanning, the Montreal manager, may be in a little bit of panic mode as he has rearranged the lineup quite a bit, juggled some things up, tried to shake some things up, and try to get his team off the schneid. So let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the Expos, leading off will be playing second base, Tim Raines. So he went from left field to DH, now he's second base. Al Oliver's at first, Dawson's in center, Carter catching, Wallach at third, Youngblood in right. Warren Cromartie's at DH, Chris Spires at short, and Jerry White is in left field. Not very good defensively, but he's got good speed and he hits lefties fairly well. That's why he's in there. For the Royals, kind of the standard lineup, except for Geronimo is taking the place of Jerry Martin in the 8th spot. So we got Wilson, White, Brett, McRae, Akins, Otis. Wathan is back. He was injured. He has come back now, so he's going to catch. Geronimo in right, and Washington, the shortstop. Ballpark effects. It was a bad day. It was a cool, overcast, a little bit of mist. Rolled the D20, came up with a 19 for bad weather. So Kansas City, bad weather. Singles are 1-13 for both. Home runs, left-handers get an 8, right-handers get nothing. So right-handers are automatic outs on ballpark home run checks. As far as pitcher hold ratings, combined pitcher and catcher, Gullickson's a -2 and Gura's a -4, as Wathan's a -1 and Gura's a -3 for a combined -4. Carter is a -3 and Gullickson's a +1 for the net -2. So I think all the prelims are out of the way. We got the Royal dice, all blue for the Royals. Try to cater to the home team, so that's what we got. Although they're up 2-0, they may not need a lot of catering. But Gullickson's probably going to be on a short leash. Remember, they do have Dan Schatzeder in the bullpen. He was the guy that pitched all those scoreless extra innings in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. So if it gets to it, they may have to go for long relief. Their Schatzeder's going to be their guy, most likely. All right, so Larry Gura finishing up the warm-up tosses, and he will be facing Tim Raines, but it's going to be second baseman Tim Raines. As we look at Tim Raines' card, he is rated in left field as a 4E3, but at second base he's a 4E27. So they're sitting Doug Flynn, who's a better defensive second baseman because they need the offense. I'm sure the plan is if they get the lead in late innings, you will see Flynn come in for Raines and take over at second base if they get to that point. Right now, Larry Gura finishing up the warm-up tosses. Do a final check to make sure everything looks copacetic through the phone, and it does. So we're ready for Game 3 of the 1982 Strat-O-Matic World Series. Royals leading 2-0. Backs against the wall for the Expos. Can the new lineup or the shifted lineup of Jim Fanning make a difference? We shall see. Gura to Raines. Game 3 underway. 3-6. That's a 1-10 single. That's a 1. So Montreal off to a good start with a leadoff single for Tim Raines, and he's going to definitely look to get the jump, despite the fact that it's a -4. Let's bump it up here a little bit. A -4 right here for Larry Gura. So we'll wait and see how they want to play this. I think I can leave the score sheet here and you can still see everything pretty well. I think so. All right. So Raines, to get a jump, 2 through 6 or an 11 will get him to jump. That's a 3. He gets the jump. So he starts as a 19, -4 for the combined pitcher hold rating with the catcher arm, drops him to a 15. Additional -2 for being held makes him a 13. So 1-13 for Raines to steal it. And he does. It's a possible throwing error on Wathen. His T rating, didn't write it in very good. I think it says 9 there. Let me double check that. Yes, it is. His T rating is a 9. So 1-9, he throws this in center field, and Raines will take third. 12, nope, it's blocked over there by the second baseman, Frank White. So stolen base for Raines, no throwing error on Wathen, but the Expos have something cooking. Runner at second, nobody out. He will have to be held. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Al Oliver. Lefty on lefty, but Oliver hits lefties fairly well. Strategy roll to see if there, or not a strategy roll, but a havoc roll to see if there's a wild pitch chance. There's a 1, so that means we're looking at a wild pitch for Gura, a wild pitch rating of 1-5. It is another 1. Well, this 1's kind of a lot. So Larry Gura uncorks the wild pitch, and that will send Mr. Raines all the way to third with nobody out. And Oliver the batter. Now the Royals will play back. They want to prevent a big inning, so they will give up the run to get the out, assuming Gura doesn't throw another wild pitch. Here's Oliver. 6'8", 6'8", and doesn't matter where they're playing. 6'8" against a lefty. 1-3 is a triple. 4-20 is a single. That's a single for Al Oliver. And the Expos come out firing early. They lead it 1-0. Oliver is no threat to run, so he will not even be held. But the Expos lead it 1-0 before the fans at Royal Stadium even get all in their seats. So maybe getting away from home is helping them. I don't know. We'll see. Here's the havoc roll for Gura. Nothing happening. Andre Dawson, center fielder, the batter. That's a 1-9 against a lefty, and that's a fly to right. And there's one away. It's a B question mark, but that only pertains with the runner going from second to third, not from first to second. So Oliver will hold. One away, and that brings up the catcher, Gary Carter. Havoc roll again for Gura. Nothing happening. That's a 6-9 against a right-hander. That's a 1-12 home run. That's an 11. Carter has normal power. That is gone. Gary Carter cranks a 2-run homer, and the Expos are showing up meaning business. It is 3-0 here in the top of the first, and now it's the Royals, and they may be looking to go to their bullpen early. As Dick Hauser is kind of shaking his head a little bit, not expecting Gura to get off to this kind of a start. Base is clear. 3 runs are in. 3-0 Expos here in the top of the first. Here's Tim Wallach. 1-9 for Wallach. It's a ground ball right back to Gura. Out number 2. And that brings up the right fielder, Joe Youngblood. So Joe Youngblood stepping to the plate. 3-8, and that's another fly. This one's to left to end the inning, but 3 runs for the Expos here in the top of the first as they jump on Larry Gura, and now it's up to Bill Gullickson to hold the fort, so to speak. He will be coming in to start the bottom of the first, and he'll be facing the speedster, Willie Wilson. For the Royals, it's Wilson, White, and Brett to start the bottom of the first as the Royals try to answer what the Expos did. Gullickson, 3-9 for Wilson is a single, so leadoff single for Willie Wilson. He's going to be looking to get the jump, whether they're down 3-0 or not. The Royals don't care. They're a running team. So -2 combined for the catcher-pitcher hold rating. So if he gets the jump, that'd be a 16, and then 2 for being able to 14. It'd be a 1-14 if he gets the jump. 3 through 6 will get him that jump. That's a 4. He gets the jump. So we figured out it's going to be a 1-14, and Willie Wilson will steal it. He does. Stolen base for Willie Wilson. He gets into scoring position with nobody out. He will have to be held. And now that'll bring up the second baseman, Frank White. Havoc roll for Gullickson. Nothing going on. Here's White. 2-7 for White. All these hits in column 2, and he found a ground ball to short. Go figure. Wow, what a bad break that was for Frank White. He had a whole bunch of stuff in column 2, but Found a ground ball to short. Wilson will have to hold. One away, and that brings up George Brett, and he's been struggling the whole playoffs, so he really needs to break out of this, especially with his team down 3-0. 5-5, that's a fly to left, so that's not going to help the cause. 2 down, and that'll send up Hal McRae, the designated hitter. See what he can do against Mr. Gullickson. 3-8, and that's going to be a fly to center. Ends the inning. So started out nicely for the Royals, but it didn't end that way. 1 inning in the books, and it's 3-0 Expos. And now if you're Dick Hauser, you might have your bullpen going because everybody's well rested in the bullpen. That's not an issue. So in their bullpen, let's look and see who they have for long relief. They do have Bud Black, another lefty. He can definitely be in long relief. He was 4-6 with 14 starts. So, and he's got a nice little relief rating there. So he's the long relief guy if it goes to that. They also have Bill Castro as a long reliever. He's got a 4 there. So Castro, 4 starts and 1 save. So either or, they could go in either direction. And it might even be their benefit to do Castro because the Expos have figured their lineup out versus a lefty pitcher. Bringing a righty, that can kind of mess them up a bit. We'll see. Well, first of all, we got a lefty at the plate here in Warren Cromartie, the designated hitter. He will lead off against Larry Gura. He had a rough game 1 and was benched in game 2. Gura, 2-7 for Cromartie. That's a leadoff single. So Cromartie, I'm sorry, wrong side. I was looking at Willie Aikens, wasn't I? Let's scratch that out because I don't know what Willie Aikens is going to do in the 2nd inning. All right, so Cromartie is on. He will not be held. And that brings up the shortstop, Chris Spire. Havoc roll for Gura. Another wild pitch chance, 1-5. And it is another wild pitch for Gura. 2 wild pitches. I don't know what his deal is, but Dick Hauser's not going to put up with this too much longer. Nothing on the Havoc this time. Here's Spire. 2-4. That's a ground ball, third base B. So with a hit to third, Cromartie's got a hold at second base. So 1 away. And that'll bring up Jerry White. And White gets his first start of the World Series. In 115 at-bats, he had a 243 average with 2 home runs. But he does have a very good column here against lefties. Actually hits righties pretty well too, so we'll see. But they're going to give him a shot, see what he can do here against Gura, playing their percentages. Switch hitter batting right-handed, 2-11. That's a ground ball to short, so that's not going to help his cause. Runner still has to hold, so 2 down with now a runner at second. Cromartie still there. And the second baseman, Tim Raines. See what Raines can do against Gura. 3-8. That's a single, 2 stars. So Raines comes through with an RBI single. It is now 4-0. 4-0 in favor of the Expos. Al Oliver, the batter, and Gura. This may be it for Gura after Oliver. If he doesn't get Oliver, he's probably gone. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Oh, I forgot to check Tim Raines. I'm sorry. He's supposed to be checking to see if he gets a jump. My bad. I got ahead of myself, so let's redo this. Well, I already rolled the D20, so we know it's not going to be a pickoff or anything. He needs a 2 through 6 or an 11 to get the jump. 9, he doesn't get the jump, so maybe it was premature there. All right, so Al Oliver, the batter. Gura 2-5 to Oliver. It's ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning as Frank White tosses to first, but the Expos get another run on a 2-out single by Tim Raines. 4-0 Expos, and I think that's going to be it for Larry Gura. Gura will leave the game, and it will be Bill Castro time coming on in the 3rd inning for the Royals. So Gura definitely did not have it in this game. He goes 2 innings, and he's going to give up 5 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned, included a big 2-run homer by Carter. Didn't walk anybody and didn't strike anybody out. But his day is done, and Bill Castro will be the new guy. Castro is a +3 on the hold. Watson, so it's a +2. So that's going to maybe embolden the Expo runners here, but up 4-0, maybe they'll call the dogs off temporarily. I don't know. Gullickson will be out there to face Willie Aikens, who will lead things off. Willie Aikens. 4-4, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We are looking at Spire. He's a 3E14. 3-10 is good all day long, and a 14 and a 9. E14, there is no 9. 3-10 is a G2, which is definitely good enough. So Aikens grounds to Spire, 1 away. And that will send up Amos Otis, center fielder. 1-8 for Otis, and he's going to get a single, 1-out single for Amos Otis. He will be held, but down 4-0, they're not going to try anything. And that'll bring up John Wathen, who's back from being dinged up after being hit by a pitch in game 1. He sat out game 2. Gullickson, nothing on the havoc. Here's Wathen. 4-6. That's a walk, so maybe the Royals are starting to piece something together. First and second with 1 out for Cesar Geronimo. So they took a chance benching Jerry Martin and going with Cesar Geronimo. Geronimo has a great column 3 if he finds it. 2, that's a chance for a balk or a pass ball. And that's a chance for a balk. 1-4 would be the balk. No balk, so Gullickson does not balk. He will face Geronimo. 4-6, that's another walk. He doesn't balk, but he walks. And that's going to load the bases. So that's not going to make Jim Fanning too happy. You got a 4-0 lead. You go around and start walking, guys. Bases are loaded with 1 out for UL Washington. Infield's going to play for the double play. 1 again. Chance for a wild pitch. 1-10. It's a 3, so Gullickson uncorks the wild pitch. Maybe Larry Gura's wildness is catchy. So that's going to bring the run home. It's also going to move Wathen and Geronimo into scoring position. Takes the double play out of the equation. And now the Expos leading 4-1. I think they're going to play the infield back. They want to try. And it's another one, another potential wild pitch. Gullickson does it again, another wild pitch. Back-to-back wild pitches. And now Jim Fanning wonder what the heck is going on. 2 runs are in. Runners at third with only 1 out. Now with the runner at third, they're going to bring the infield in. Try to choke the run off, assuming Gullickson doesn't uncork another wild pitch, which he did not. But the infield is in. Gullickson 6-7, switch hitter batting left. 6-7 is a ground ball second base X. And of course, that is Tim Raines. He's the second baseman because they wanted the offense. So he's a 4E27. 4-3. That's going to get through for a base hit, big time. Base hit, there's an 8, and it's an E27. There is no 8, but it is a base hit for UL Washington, and that will bring home Geronimo with the 3rd run of the inning. It is now 4-3, and UL Washington might be looking to get a jump here. He is now the tying run. He's a 4-6, and he gets it with a 5, so he gets the jump, 18. Gullickson combination with Carter is a -2, makes him a 16. Being held, you subtract another 2, makes him a 14. 1-14, he steals it. And he does. Stolen base for UL Washington. He's in scoring position with only 1 out. He is the tying run. He will have to be held. And Willie Wilson, the batter. Havoc, nothing going on for Gullickson. 1-6, that's a trouble. 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single, that's a 12, but it's 2 stars. And just like that, we're tied at 4. As Bill Gullickson now is running into issues and Dan Schatzeder is loosening the Expo bullpen. As Jim Fanning can't believe he just gave up a 4-0 lead. It's now 4-4. Willie Wilson, see if he can get the jump. He needs a 3-6. Nope, can't get the jump this time, so he'll hold. And here's Frank White. 1-4 for White. That's a ground ball third base A. It's a 5-4-3 around the horn double play to end the inning, but the damage done by the Royals, they have tied it at 4 apiece. And the first 2 games in Montreal were pitching duels, but now we're getting to the lesser pitchers, if you want to call it that, in the rotation, and runs are now becoming aplenty. So Bill Castro will come in. That actually takes Gura off the hook. So now Castro will be the pitcher of record, at least for now. 3-2, 3.45 ERA, 4 starts and a save, but he's got a long relief rating of 4. So that's why he's in there. Try to eat up some innings. All right, here is Andre Dawson. Expos in a little bit of shock now after having a 4-0 lead and seeing it evaporate in 1 inning. 5-5 for Castro. That's danger there. 1-9 is a home run. 10-20 is a double. That is a 10. So Dawson just misses a home run. He does get the leadoff double. He will have to be held at second base with nobody out. And here's Gary Carter. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Castro to Carter. 5-2, and that's a ground ball shortstop A, so that'll freeze Dawson at second base, 1 away. And that'll bring up Tim Wallach, third baseman. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Castro to Wallach. 3-10 for Wallach. That's a ballpark home run chance, but we already said it's a 0 for right-handers, so it's an automatic fly to left, 2 down. So 2 down, and that brings up Youngblood, who was in there because of the lefty starter, but now that Castro's in there, they're going to keep him in for his defense, I guess, for at least a little while. Havoc, nothing going on. Castro to Youngblood. 1-10, and that is a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. So a leadoff double by Dawson goes for naught. Nothing doing for the Expos. We are tied at 4. Now, what do they want to do here? They're going to pull Gullickson because Gullickson just doesn't have it either. He goes 2 innings, gives up the 4 runs just like Gura did, with 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. He did walk 2 and threw 2 wild pitches, but I think the wild pitches wouldn't have mattered anyway with all these hits. Let's see here. He didn't strike anybody out either, but at least he didn't give up any home runs. All right, so they're going to go to Dan Schatzeder. He was the hero for the Expos in Game 4 of the NLCS with that long relief outing. His season numbers not very good. 1-6 with a 5.32 ERA, but like I said, he had the magic in that one game in LA, so they're going to see if they can fall back on that magic. So Schatzeder it is, and his first batter face will be left-hander George Brett. He's got 2 lefties out of 3 coming up. Brett, McRae, and Aiken. So Schatzeder are going to see if he can keep that magic going. 4-5, and that's a fly to center, so that's a good start for Schatzeder. 1 away, or Schatzeder, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Schatzeder, I always call him Schatzeder, but I guess you can call him whatever you want to call him, except late for dinner. 2-10 for McRae. Again, a ballpark home run, but again, it's a 0 for a right-handed hitter, so it's just a deep fly to left. 2 down, and that brings up Willie Aikens. Schatzeder to Aikens, 6-6. That's a single, so a 2-out single for Willie Aikens. He will not be held, and that's going to send us to AO, Amos Otis. Havoc roll for Schatzeder. Nothing happening. Here's AO. 1-5, and that's a single, 2 stars for Amos Otis. It's going to put runners at the corners. Runners are at the corners with 2 outs. AO will be held at first, but he's not going to go anywhere. They want to give John Watson a chance to drive home the go-ahead run, if possible. Schatzeder with the Havoc. Nothing happening. Schatzeder to Watson. 5-12, ground ball, second base X again. That is Raines for E27. That could be trouble for E27. 4 and a 10. He might get to that. 4 and a 10 is a G3. He's not responsible for holding any runners on, so he's okay. Let's see here. And that's a 9. And he is an E27. There is no 9, so it's good play. Barely. By Raines, but he makes it. So nothing doing there for the Royals. They came close but got nothing. We go to the 4th, still tied at 4. And that'll bring up Cromartie. Warren Cromartie. DH will lead off against Castro. 6-8. It's It's a ground ball to short. UL is there, toothpick and all, and makes the play. Here's Chris Spire, shortstop. 2-10 for Spire. He's going to ground it to Frank White. 2 down. So Castro's come in and settled things down a bit. Retired 5 in a row now after giving up that initial double to Dawson. Here's Jerry White, switch hitter, turnaround bats left-handed now. 3-5, and he strikes out. So that's going to end the inning. So with the right-hander Castro in there, I wonder if we might eventually bring a lefty batter in, but I think it's kind of early to be doing those switches because then you're going to run out of players if you keep doing that. All right, bottom of the 4th we go. Shots that are back out. We're facing Geronimo. He was in there against the righty, but do you want to pull? You know what? They might have to go to Jerry Martin early because he just doesn't hit lefties well at all. I think they'll give him 1 at bat against the lefty. Let's see how he does. It's against the shot saver anyway. 6-6, and he singles. So how about that? Geronimo gets the benefit of going against the lefty and it being on the pitcher card. So it worked out for Geronimo. He will not be held. In the 82 season, Geronimo stole 2 bases, but he just doesn't get, he has to have a 4 to get a jump, and doesn't look likely. All right, so UL Washington is the batter. Shot sitter. 1, chance for a wild pitch, 1-12. And it's a wild, it's like the wild pitch game. So there you go. Runner now at second base is Geronimo. And since he's on second now, Geronimo runs at a 14. They will hold him on. Here's UL. 5-7, switch hitter batting right-handed. 5-7 is a double to right field. So Schatzeder does not have the magic in this game the way he had it in Game 4 against the Dodgers. The Royals have come back to take the lead 5-4 here in the bottom of the 4th, and the Expo bullpen is loosening again as right-hander Ray Burris is tossing in the bullpen. He has not made an appearance in the series yet, but he's very close to making one now. UL Washington will have to be held at second. Here's Willie Wilson. Nothing on the Havoc. 3-7 for Wilson against a lefty. He strikes out. So a big strikeout there, 1 away. 1 away, and that brings up Frank White. Frank White after the Havoc roll, nothing happening. Shot sitter to White, 1-9. Ground ball second base A, that'll move the runner to third. But now there are 2 outs. UL Washington takes third, but now there are 2 outs. And George Brett, the batter. So shot sitter better watch out for that wild pitch again. Nope. Now he's got to deal with Brett. 1-9, and Brett takes it to him. A 9 there is a single, 2 stars. That will score UL. And the Royals now lead it 6-4. They've scored 6 unanswered runs in just 3 innings. Brett will be held, but he won't go anywhere. And Hal McRae is the batter. Shots that are maybe running out of mojo here. 5-6. That is a ground ball to third to end the inning, but I think that's going to end it for Shotsitter as well. His day is done. Shotsitter pitches 2 innings, and he's going to give up 2 runs. They were earned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Again, no walks and 1 strikeout. So Burris will be the new pitcher coming in for the Expos in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 5th, it's still Bill Castro time. He's done well in his relief outing. He's got to face the top of the order, though, Tim Raines. It'll be Raines, Oliver, and Dawson against Mr. Castro. Top of the 5th, 6-4 Royals after falling behind 4-0. 5-8, switch hitter batting left. 5-8 is a ground ball to first. And good play for Mr. Willie Mays Aikens. Takes to the bag himself. 1 down for Al Oliver. 5-8, and it's a ground ball to first. Same roll I think we just had. So Aikens says, I'll do it a second time because once was not enough. Here's Andre Dawson. 2-8 for Dawson. That is a ground ball back to Castro, and the inning's over. So 3 shutout innings for Bill Castro. He is doing his Dan Schatzeder impersonation from Game 4, the NLCS, as he is shutting things down. Here's Ray Burris. He's going to be the new pitcher. 4-14 with a 4.73 ERA, 15 starts and 2 saves. So he's going to give it a go. He has not appeared in the series yet. He's going to try his hand, see how he does. It'll be Akins, the lefty, and then 2 righties, Otis and Wathen, against Burris. 3-3, ground ball to short. Spires there, 1 away. Brings up Amos Otis. 2-12 for Amos Otis. That's a hit by pitch plus injury. And remember, we are doing injuries. So this could be big for the Royals if they lose Amos Otis for any length of time. Let's get the injury chart back out. 1-4, he's okay. 5 or 6, he remains in the game. Anything higher than that, he's going to have to leave the game and miss possible multiple games, and possibly the rest of the series. Ayo, 17, he's gone for the series. So Amos Otis gets hit, and he is going to be out of this series. The Royals will have the opportunity to replace him on the roster next game, so they'll get somebody else off of their reserve list. But now we need a center fielder, and actually Geronimo is going to move to center field is what's going to happen. They're going to have to move their other center fielder, Geronimo, to center field and bring Jerry Martin in to play right field. So Martin will come in and play right field. He's a 2, 8, and a +1. And this one's at a 14. Geronimo keeps the same rating for center fielder, so that doesn't change. So there you go. Say goodbye to Amos Otis. He is no longer in the series. He is injured and will have to watch the rest of the series from the dugout. John Wathen, and in fact, Martin will replace him as a pinch runner. So it's actually Martin at first base as the runner. Right now, John Wathen steps up. Let's check Jerry Martin. Can he get a jump? Will he want to get a jump? No, he's not even being held. So here's Burris to John Wathen, who knows all about getting hit and injured. Burris, 310, and that is a ballpark single check. That's an 11. Singles are a 13. It's a base hit for John Wathen. That puts runners at first and second with only 1 out for Cesar Geronimo. Expos have to make sure this game doesn't get away from another wild pitch chance. Nope, not this time. Carter blocks it. Here's Geronimo. 3-6 for Geronimo. All these hits in column 3, and he pops out to short. Tough break there, but a nice break for the Expos. Anything else would have been serious damage done. And now here's UL Washington. Burris has a chance to get out of the inning. Martin is not held at second base. 5-10, switch hitter batting left. That's a ballpark single check again, 1-13, but that's an 18. So UL will line it to second to end the inning. And Burris makes it through the 5th unscathed, despite the single and hit by pitch. So we go to the top of the 6th, and Castro, this will be his weakness inning. He's got a relief rating of 4, and up to this point, he's only given up a leadoff double to Dawson, and he's given up nothing else. So they're going to try to get Castro through this inning and then turn it over to the rest of their bullpen. All right, Gary Carter will lead it off as they find themselves down 6-4. Have to get moving. 2-5. That's the way to do it. Start out with a single. So a leadoff single for Gary Carter. And that'll bring up Wallach. And now the Royal bullpen is active, as they do have, I believe, right-hander, actually left-hander Don Hood, I believe, is loosening down there. Let's take a peek ski. Yeah, Don Hood, the lefty, is loosening in the bullpen in case Castro starts to falter. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Here's Wallach. He is the tying run, 4-7. Struck him out. He's not tired yet, so the strikeout is good. 1 away. And that brings up Joel Youngblood. Havoc roll, nothing happening. 3-11, and that's a foul out to third. George Brett is right there, 2 down. And that'll bring up Cromartie. One chance for another wild pitch on a 1-5. Nope, blocked this time by Wathen. 6'10", left-hander, 6'10", ground ball third base X. That's Brett. He's a 2 E21. 2 and a 16 is good all day. E21 and a 7 should be fine. And it is. 6 is an error, but not a 7. So good play for George Brett, and the inning's over. So how about that? Bill Castro goes 4 innings of relief, gives up just 2 hits and no runs. He's definitely in line to get the win if the Royals hold on. 2 strikeouts and no walks. So he has solidly done the job. And he will be given the rest of the night off and see if the bullpen, his mates, can hold it. Burris now will be facing Wilson, White, and Brett. Do they go with Burris or do they keep with Burris? I think they're going to keep with Burris. See if he can help it. If he gets in trouble, they do have left-hander Woody Fryman in the bullpen loosening. So Burris will be given a short leash. Why'd I roll the D20? Nobody's on base. Got ahead of myself, and it was another 1 again. Check for wild pitch. This has been wild pitch central in this game for some strange reason. All right, Burris to Wilson. That's a 2-3, and it's a ground ball to second. And Tim Raines at second base will make the play. So that'll bring up Frank White, speaking of second baseman. 3-8 for White, and that's a single. So Frank White with the base hit. He will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere. And George Brett is the batter. Now, what do you do with that? They're gonna make the move. Burris is gonna come out. He is gonna be lifted, and they're going to Woody Fryman. When you're down 2-0, and you're losing in game 3, you got to pull out all the stops. Woody Fryman 9-4, 3.75 ERA, and 12 saves on the season. So Woody Fryman is on. Burris ends up going an inning and a third, and he gives up 2 hits, no walks. He did hit a batter, and no strikeouts. He is responsible for Frank White, so we can't put a 0 there yet. So George Brett now will be facing Woody Fryman. Havoc roll. Another 1. Boy, this is just, like I said, wild pitch city. And that's a 5, and he's a 6. It is another wild pitch. Amazing how many wild pitches we had in this game. 2 here, 1 there is 3, 1 there is 4. We had 4, and 1 up here is 5. I believe and 1 here is 6. I believe we had 6 wild pitches if I've counted correctly. It's really been something unusual. All right, try again. Woody Fryman, no wild pitch this time. Here's Brett. 6-6, single to center field. That could score the run. Frank White was being held at second base because he runs at a 15, drops into a 14. Center fielder arm, Dawson's a -2, so they will, with only 1 out, they will hold Frank White at third base. Runners are at the corners with only 1 out for Hal McRae. Infield is going to play double play depth. They want to try to turn 2. Brett will be held at first base. Fryman to McRae, 6'9", struck him out. Big strikeout for Woody Fryman. 2 down, infield back to normal. And now the left-hander, Willie Aikens, lefty on lefty for Woody Fryman. Critical to get this, another 1. And if he throws a wild pitch again, the run will score. 1-6 is a wild pitch. Nope, not this time. Carter finally blocks. He's probably exhausted back there trying to block all those low pitches. Here's Aikens. 4-4. Ground ball third base X. That is third baseman Wallach. He's a 3 E24. 3 and a 10. He will get to that. E24 and a 13 for third baseman. E24. There's a 12, but no 13, so it's a good play. And a 3 E10, or 3 with a 10 there on the range. 3 and a 10 is a G2. That's good enough to make the play, and the inning's over. So Burris, we closed the book on him. He did not give up any runs. We go to the 7th. Still 6-4, as it's kind of settled in after the wild, lots of runs. And coming in now for the Royals will be left-handed reliever Don Hood. Hood 4-0, 3.51 ERA, 3 starts and a save. So he is on. They do have right-hander Mike Armstrong also loosening in the bullpen in case Hood runs into trouble. Right now, Hood will face Spire, White, and Raines. See what he can do with that. 3-11 for Spire. Ground ball to first. That's a C, so we're going to call it 3-1 as Akins flips to Hood covering. 1 away for Jerry White. That's a 6-5 against a switch hitter batting right. That's a strikeout. So Don Hood strikes out White. 2 down for Tim Raines. Expos running out of outs. Hood 4-5, switch hitter batting right-handed. 4-5's a ground ball to short. So Don Hood pitches a perfect 7th inning. And that Royal bullpen's now tossed 5 shutout relief innings. And Expos are in trouble. 7th inning stretch time here at Kansas City. It's 6-4 Royals. Woody Fryman coming back out for his 2nd inning of work. And we got the new center fielder, of course, Jerry Martin, or new right fielder rather, Jerry Martin, who's hitting in Amos Otis's old spot as Otis is no longer available in the series with Geronimo moving to center. So first at bat for Jerry Martin in this game, 2-9, he strikes out. So Martin is out of there, 1 away. Brings up John Wathan. Fryman to Wathan, 3-4. And that's a split chance on the triangle. 1-3 is a single. That's a 5, so it ends up being a line out to short. In advance, that would have been a base hit, but not in super advance. All right, now Geronimo is up again, but they're going to have to leave him in there because he's the only center fielder they have left, I do believe. Check their bench. I don't think they've got another one, or at least not anybody that's rated very well in center field. Let's see. They have anybody else? Because if he gets hurt, they could be in serious trouble. Willie Wilson could actually play center field, actually. So I guess they could, do it that way if they would like. And he's actually a 1 in center field. Boy, I wonder if we ought to move him over to center. No, we'll go ahead and let Geronimo keep going. Fryman 4-4 against the lefty. Ground ball third base X again. That is Wallach, a 3 E24. 3-1, that's going to be a base hit. E24 and a 9. There's also a 9, so it's a hit and an error. 24 is a 9 there, and there's a 9 there, so that is an error on the E24 for Wallach. And on top of that, a 3 and a 1 is a single 2 stars. So we have a single, but nobody's on base, so it doesn't matter. So it's a single plus an error. So single for Geronimo plus the E5 on Tim Wallach. That puts Geronimo at second base with 2 down. And he will have to be held because he runs pretty well. And UL Washington steps up. Havoc roll for Fryman, nothing going on. Fryman to Washington, 5-8, switch hitter batting right, struck him out. So Woody Fryman does his thing. He goes 2 innings. Or actually an inning and 2/3, my bad. He goes an inning and 2/3. Giving up 2 hits, striking out 3, and giving up no runs, no walks either. And keeps his team in the game. But that's going to be it for Woody Fryman for the night. So Woody Fryman is done. And they will turn to right-hander Bryn Smith in the bottom of the 8th. But right now we need the top of the 8th for the Royals. And they're going to stick with Don Hood. He pitched a 1-2-3 7th, so they're going to stick with Don Hood. Facing the lefty Al Oliver, although Armstrong is loosening in the bullpen. And actually, he has sat down. Dan Quisenberry is now in the bullpen. They're going to try to jump on the Expos and try to make it a 3-0 lead if they can. So Quisenberry is loosening, and they're all well rested after the off day for travel. So Quisenberry's pitching behind Hood, so let's see what Hood can do against Oliver. That's a 5-3 Fly ball right field X. Right fielder is Martin. He's a 2E8. 2 and a 5. That should be okay, I would think. 2 and a 5 is an F2. That's good enough. 8 and an 8. E8 and an 8. There is no 8, so it's a good play for Jerry Martin. He makes the play, and here comes Andre Dawson. I think if anybody gets on at all, Hood's coming out, and Quisenberry will be coming in. 2-9, and that's a ground ball to second by Dawson. 2 down, so Don Hood giving them something they didn't expect, particularly Castro and Hood. Can you imagine them going 6 shutout innings of relief? That would be something. 6-6 against Hood. 1-9 is a single, but that's a 10. So it's a ground ball to third. Brett just able to get to it and throws out Carter to end the inning. And that's just the kind of luck the Expos are having in this game. And it's still 6-4 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. New pitcher for the Expos, Bryn Smith, right-hander. 2-4 with a 4.20 ERA, 1 start and 3 saves. So it's his job to keep the score right where it is. Mr. Bryn Smith. He will be on to face the top of the order, Willie Wilson, Frank White, and George Brett. And actually, let's see what they want to do with this. Now they're going to go ahead and keep everything the same. Smith, 110 to Wilson. That's a single, leadoff single for Willie Wilson. Brent Smith's hold rating is a +3. Carter a -3. It makes it a 0. So if he gets to jump, 1-16 would do it. He needs a 3 through 6. He does not get the jump, so he will have to hold. And of course, being held on, it's going to bring up Frank White. Smith to White, 4-8. That's a single to left field. Puts runners at first and second. And they don't want to let this thing get away from them, that's for sure. Here's George Brett. They really don't want to bring in Reardon down by 2 runs. But they might have to, I don't know. Here's Smith to Brett, nothing happening. They need a double play in the worst way. 3-9, they get a ground ball to second base C. That'll advance the runners to second and third just like a sacrifice. And of course now the infield will have to come in for Hal McRae. They will have to come in, they have no choice. Infield has to come in. Now you wonder if maybe should they bring in Reardon? I don't know. I guess if you're going to bring him in, you should have brought him in the 8th, so they're going to stick with Bryn Smith. Havoc roll, nothing going on. 2-4 from McRae. It didn't matter who they brought in. That's a home run. Hal McRae, a 3-run homer. That's a 5, makes it a 3-run homer on the 2-4. Didn't matter if you brought in Reardon or not. That's a home run for Hal McRae. And that could be the coup de grace in this game for the Royals, as they look to take a 3-0 lead in the series. And they're off to a good start now, as they are up 9-4. Commanding lead. Now Quisenberry is sat down. There's no sense bringing in Quisenberry because you don't need him right now with a 9-4 game. They will bring in somebody else, I imagine. Or they could leave Don Hood out there, I suppose. They may just leave Don Hood out there to get the save, because he's not tired yet. So he faced 6 batters, retired them all, so he has no point of weakness going on. So I think they might just leave him out there. Here's Willie Aikens. 210 for Aikens. That's a ballpark home run chance. He is a lefty, so the home run chance is 1-8, but that's a 14. So he flies to right for 2 down. Yep, so Don Hood's going to stay out there. If he gets in any kind of trouble at all, then they'll bring in Quisenberry. But other than that, they're going to leave Hood out there. Here's Martin against Smith. 4-6. Struck him out. He was not tired, so he makes it through. So let's see here. 3 runs on 3 hits. So Smith goes 1 inning, gives up 3 hits and 3 runs. Let's see, a homer. Did get a strikeout, nothing else. But 9-4, Royals in command. Home folks are very happy about that. And Tim Wallach will lead off against Don Hood to start the top of the 9th, down 9-4. It'll be Wallach, Youngblood, and Cromartie, unless they want to pinch it for somebody. Hood 4-11 against the righty. That's a ballpark home run chance, but again, it's a 0 for right-handers, so it's just a fly to left. Wallach is out of there. Here's Youngblood. Hood to Youngblood, 4-4. That's a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Geronimo. He's a 2E2. 2 and a 16 is good. E2 and a 14. E2 and a 14 is good. The only errors are 3, 17, and 18, so Geronimo makes the nice play. 2 down. Here's Cromartie. Do they want to stick with Cromartie, or do they want to pinch hit for Cromartie with a right-hander? They don't really have much. They got Dan Norman on the bench. Cromartie in the game, 1 for 3. So they're going to pinch hit with Dan Norman. At this point in the game, it probably doesn't matter. Down 9-4, but they're just going to go ahead and bring in Norman just for general purpose, because he is a right-hander and Hood gives up a little bit more against righties. So here's Norman. 2-10 for Norman against the lefty. It's a ballpark single check. A 10, that's a base hit for Dan Norman. So a pinch hit single for Dan Norman. 2-10, just out of curiosity for Cromartie against the lefty. He would have singled as well. Not a ballpark single, but he would have a regular single. So Norman is on. And that brings us to Chris Spire. Hood. Nothing on the Havoc. 2-6 against Hood. Fly to center. Ball game is over. Don Hood and Bill Castro combined to go 7 shutout innings as the Royals stunned the Expos after being behind 4-0. They scored 9 unanswered runs and blow the Expos out to take a 3-0 lead in the series. Who'd have thunk that? But that's what we got. For the Royals, they got 9 runs, 16 hits, and no errors for the Royals. Winning pitcher was Castro. The save to Hood, and the loss ends up going to Dan Schatzeder. So 9-4. See, Hood gave up 1 hit in his 3 innings of relief. No walks and a strikeout. No runs, obviously. Let's fix the strikeout total. So now it's a commanding 3-0 lead for the Royals, as the Expos managed 4 runs and 8 hits. So there you go. 9-4, and if you look at the totals of the relief pitchers, Castro 4 innings and Hood 3 innings. They go 7 innings, give up just 3 hits and no runs. 7 innings, 3 hits and no runs. They shut down the Expos pretty much from Jump Street. Dawson greeted Castro with a double to lead off the first batter that Castro faced, but after that he was lights out. And then Hood went the final 3 to get the save. 9-4, Royals win it. They take a 3-0 commanding lead. And so now looking forward to Game 4. We have our starting pitchers in Game 4. For the Royals, it will be right-hander, their only right-hander starter, Dennis Leonard. He will get the start. For the Royals, the Expos will counter with right-hander Scott Sanderson. So those are the starting pitchers in Game 4. They could come back with Steve Rogers on short rest, but you got to win. You got to win 4 games basically. So Rogers would pitch Game 5 if it comes to that against Vita Blue. But right now, it's Leonard and Sanderson that are going to get the call in Game 4. But Game 3 is in the books, and KC leads it 3-0 in the series. And what I was hoping would be a good series, maybe going 7 games. I may be disappointed quite a bit here. We'll see. But I just played the games, and they turn out the way they turn out. It was a good start for the Expos, but that's why he played 9 innings and not 2 innings. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you've enjoyed this 1982 World Series on Strat-O-Matic. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.